You clicked on this video, you want to know why everyone sucks at trading. But this video is not just going to be a video of me talking about that. It's going to be me talking about why most people suck at trading and why you are probably still struggling to get profitable. If trading is so simple, if it truly is, just trade with the trend. Trade the bounces of the support resistance zones. Trade the smart money, order block, liquidity flow, bank manipulation, FU strategy. If it's truly just this simple and you're just looking at some bars on a chart and you're trying to decide whether or not it goes up and down, why are so many people not profitable? Why is everybody not a multi-millionaire trader like me and my dog Ruby? I'll tell you why right now. It comes down to your thought patterns and your behavior patterns. When you look at two people, one person who is not profitable, one person who is profitable, we'll take you, for example. You're probably not yet profitable yet. And if you are profitable, slow clap for you. You figured it out. You've conquered your brain. But if you're not profitable, like most of my viewership here on YouTube who is learning how to trade, you are a set of decisions away from making profitable trading decisions. But you're not making them right now. So we're going to talk about how you can do it. So here in this video, by the way, my name is Nick. This is my YouTube channel. Welcome if you're new. I've been making videos for the past few years. Been trading for about six and a half years. Been profitable for about four and a half years. Welcome to my channel. Just going to talk to you a little bit about this. It's going to be off the chain. It's going to be unhinged. There's no script to this video. It's just me talking to you as a real human being. So let's get into it. I'm going to give you an example about most people's trading routine, right? So they have what they think is a trading system. They have what they think is an approach that they can apply to the charts. Now, most people will look at the charts through a lens that allows them to see the markets in a particular way. For example, if you were taught to trade with support resistance levels, I trade with support resistance, works perfectly fine. If you're taught to trade that way, you look at the market through the lens of support resistance. If you were taught to trade the market or you learned an initial strategy somewhere about only trading with the trend, you now look through the market with the lens of a trend trader. You're always looking for higher highs and higher lows, how to buy the dips to profit on a buy. In a downtrend, lower lows and lower highs, you're always looking for price to pull back up within a downtrend so you can sell, so go back down. You look at it through that lens. If you were to learn trading supply and demand, which is arguably kind of the same thing as support and resistance in a way, because you're just looking at where price is bouncing, but whatever, I'm not going to get into an argument here with people on YouTube about it. If you were taught to trade that way, and the institutional order block manipulation, institutional candle, and then price comes back to the area, and then you enter here with the 2.7 pip stop loss and a 5,000 pip profit target, you are always going to see the market through that lens. And you have to be able to break out of this to view things objectively. Here's the problem with thinking in terms of one lens and one thing, is that you end up not being objective. You end up seeing things that are not there. Human brains are very sensitive to patterns. Even when they're not there, it is the weirdest thing. Human beings will see all sorts of stuff on the charts. Pattern recognition was very good in evolution because it helped us avoid danger and it helped us avoid getting eaten by lions and tigers and things like that. Oh, if I'm in the woods and and I hear rustling and then I hear like a cat hissing. This is a pattern, and I'm recognizing this pattern in terms of pattern recognition that there's probably a lion right there. I should probably slowly get back or climb up a tree or get out of the way because I don't want to get eaten by a lion. It's a very beneficial thing to have a form of pattern recognition growing up throughout in terms of our past few million years of evolution in humans. But the way that this F's you is in trading, you look at the chart and you see patterns that are not there. You end up having a plan for what you think you're going to do, but you end up not even following that plan because you start seeing, well, this could also be the case and that could also be the case. And if I take this moving average and put this here in the Fibonacci and pull back to here and it could bounce here and go back up to here and then I could take the buy and then take a sell here at this zone, and your thinking is completely and utterly chaotic. You're making completely neurotic trading decisions. Neuroticism, meaning like just crazy, wild, all over the place, no pattern, no consistent form of decision making that gets you the same result. The cold hard truth about trading is that you are literally gambling. By definition, you are placing a wager on an uncertain outcome. The only way to stay profitable is to make more money on your winners than you lose on your losers. Trading is like running a business, especially if you treat it like one. The profits that you make from winning trades are like revenue, and your costs and expenses are the trades that you incur losses on. And you subtract the losses from the winnings, hopefully you make a little bit more than you lose. That's all your job is to do as a trader. You literally look at a chart and try to decide if it's going to go up or down. That's it. And you try to be right a little bit more than you're wrong. And if you're not right more than you're wrong, you try to make a little bit more money on the winners than you lose on your losers. It's a very simple, straightforward process. What screws you up and what screws up so many people and what screwed me up for 1.5 to 2 years and what still kind of catches me up from time to time. I'm a lot better about it now, but still, even I struggle 6.5 years later as a trader doing this full time for the past 4 years. Is you struggle with your thought patterns. Let me give you an example. You're looking at a chart. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You know you're supposed to, if you're a support resistance trader like me, I'll use an example. Then you know you're supposed to wait for price to get to a resistance zone, right? You know that before you can even do anything at all, price has to get to a major daily resistance zone. And so you go to the daily chart, you mark up the little zones where price has been bouncing at. You know, you tweak them here and there. You think, well, okay, support there, then resistance here, broke above, tested, resistance again. Now if it comes back up here, I'm gonna look for sells. But then what you start doing is you start getting down here into the deep water. You start going and you're like, well, you know what? I know this is the daily resistance zone, but price actually bounced here first already. And now we're back here to this previous high. So if I take a sell right here, we're at resistance, right? And if I go to the 4 hour, then we have a bear candle or a bull candle right there. And now we have a rejection candle. So now I can take a sell right here. So you see what your thought pattern is doing? You're skewing off track. You're getting distracted by other things, and you're not waiting for what you're supposed to be waiting for because you can't develop the patience and emotional fortitude to be able to just wait for what your plan was, which is just to wait for it to get to the daily resistance zone, then look for rejection, then take trades. But you can't do that, right? Even with that being that simple, your brain ends up seeing stuff like this. You're like, well, if I could just enter now, then I could take a profit right here. And then you know what? Then it might come back into this zone. Then I'll take profit there. And then I can take a buy right here. And you know what's even crazier is that this is like a Fibonacci move. So if it pulls back down there to the Fibonacci, this will be the 50% zone. This is going to be great. The perfect plan. Then when it comes back up here, I'll still take the sell. So here's what happens. You enter this trade. Then it pushes up and stops out. And you're like, wow, that stopped out. That's weird. Maybe it's just really bullish. So, okay, well, whatever. I'll scratch all this. Maybe it's really bullish. So maybe if it comes back here to this zone, I can take a buy. So then what you do is you end up waiting for it to come back. Then it starts to bounce. And you're like, wait, no, it's not going to bounce here. It's going to bounce up here. And so, and screw the sell. Let's just abandon the whole idea for selling at the resistance. Simple as that may be. It's in an uptrend. We can't trade against the trend because I heard somewhere you're not supposed to trade against the trend. So now we're going to take a buy up here. We'll put our stop just below that zone. We'll target the previous high. It's above a 1-to-1 risk reward. Perfect. Let's do this. So now it goes up. Okay, let's say you get the target hit barely. If it was any higher, you would have missed it. Let's just say you get the target hit right here. So now you're like, all right, sweet. Now I've won the money back that I've lost on that one. And now it's here at this support. So now we've also have a resistance zone up here. So now let's see if it's going to bounce. So it's going to bounce again. So let's take this buy right here because it's starting to bounce again. We're in an uptrend, and then you know what? Let's target a higher high because that's what price does in an uptrend. It makes a higher high. We've got a good entry. So this doesn't work, and you're like, all right, well, it stopped me out. Now let's see if it pushes back up to here. Well, actually, no, wait. Now we're here at the major zone. This is what I should have been waiting for. And you see how your brain is it's running and running and running and running and running and running and running. So now you're like, I'm going to take a buy here, target this zone, and then price starts to go up, but then it goes down and stops you out. So now you had a very simple plan, right? You had a very ridiculously simple plan, which was just daily resistance zone. If price comes into that zone, you can have an alert there, right? You have like just like an alert sitting there at the zone. Price comes up into the zone. You get the alert. You enter a sell. You can manage risk however you want. You can use a stop loss. You can use hedge orders if it goes against you. You can add in at the next zone. There's multiple ways to manage risk. Let's just say you entered a sell. You had a stop above the zone, and you have a profit target. Let's just say of 1-to-1. Maybe it's 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3. You know, whatever. You just have a profit target somewhere below her. If you just waited for this, and then you just did what your plan was, and you avoided and ignored all of the other distracting thought patterns that came into your brain, let's look what would have happened. Now, this is not always going to work, but instead of all this crap right here, all this jazz, there's like 4 different trades you've taken, and then one of them's a winner and 3 of them are losers, and you ended up frustrated, and you didn't even do what you said you were going to do, what you wanted to do, what you planned to do. You didn't even do any of that. Here's what would have happened if you just would have waited for your original plan. Price would have come up to the zone. It would have started to reject. It's at a daily resistance zone where it's had huge bounces, like 10, 15, 20% bounces over and over and over every time it gets into here. You would have entered a sell right here. If you're using a stop loss, you can have your stop loss just above that zone or just above the highs or, wherever you want to put it. 1-to-1 profit target, you would have had your profit target met. And if your profit target's not 1-to-1, let's say it's this previous low, 1-to-2 profit target. If it goes and hits that profit target, then you make it. You're not going to win every trade, but you'll win most of your trades if you have a good system and a super simple system that you can duplicate over and over. and you would be perfectly happy, and you would take less trades, and you wouldn't feel as frustrated or anxious or panicked out getting FOMO, and you'd probably be more profitable, and you'd probably have way better, more flat level emotions whenever you're actually in trades. You'd have more free time. You'd be more efficient, more effective. Literally, everything can be solved by just being able to control your thought patterns. Now, here's how you control your thought patterns. I don't want to sound woo-woo, but I'm just being very real with you. You have to meditate. What is meditate? Meditate is the practice of becoming very mindful about your thought and behavior patterns. It's the ability to be able to have that self-awareness to say, I'm looking at a chart. I know what I'm supposed to be looking for. I'm supposed to be focusing on daily horizontal support resistance levels, wait for price to get there, then wait to reject, and then I'll enter a trade. That's it. Literally, it's the simplest system in the world. It's like literally that's what my system is built around, is support resistance levels and bounces of them. But instead of doing this, price goes up to the zone, then you start seeing, oh, wait, hold on, there's the double top right here. Maybe this is the zone. Maybe I'll just change this and that, and then do all this stuff. If you have the type of brain that you've cultivated through uses of meditation, mindfulness, things like that, you can identify when those thought patterns are beginning to run off the trail. You can identify, you can literally become self-aware enough to say, whoa, time out. I'm not supposed to be focusing on a double top on the 1 hour chart. I'm supposed to be waiting for price to get to a daily resistance or support level and then wait for it to reject. And then that's where I enter a trade. Sure, I'm only taking 3, 4, 5 trades a week. I'm not taking 50 trades a week. But this is what I'm supposed to wait for. This is where I get the most consistent results. I literally have a trading journal of data that shows that this is what works best. All I have to do is follow it. And so you can become mindful and self-aware. Then you know what you do? Whenever those distracting thoughts pop up, oh, enter the trade right now. Oh, take a buy up to the resistance zone and then take the sell when it comes back down, and this and that. Whenever all those thoughts pop into your mind, if you are a mindful person, you've practiced meditation, self-awareness, things like that, you can just literally ignore it. You can say, I recognize I'm having these thoughts, but this is not the best decision, so I'm just going to let that sit right there. It's cool. I'm just going to focus on this. And you know what? Like every other emotion, sensation, feeling, or thought you've ever had in your life, these distracting thoughts that are neurotic, they just fade away. They always do. Think about every thought you've ever had in your life. It's always been temporary, hasn't it? Even if it's incessant and obsessive and compulsive and keeps coming back over and over, eventually all thoughts will fade away, whether it's momentarily or for the rest of your life in some cases. That is exactly what distracting thoughts are. Being able to recognize your thought patterns then allows you to influence your behavior patterns. An example would be, I'm doing my analysis and I'm supposed to be waiting for daily support resistance levels. And I'm supposed to be waiting for price to get there. I literally have the damn alert right there on the chart, so I don't even have to look at the chart ever again until it gets to one of the zones I'm looking to trade. I planned it out. I've done all the analysis. I've been in a super clear, super clean mindset. All I have to do is wait and be patient and not FOMO in and not become impatient, take trades I shouldn't be taking. All you have to do is just wait. Then a distracting thought comes in. Wait, bro, look, this is the H4 support resistance level. Look, isn't that nice? Couldn't you just trade that? What's wrong with just trading that? You're a trader, bro. Come on. You haven't taken a trade in a full 24 hours. What are we doing? We're a trader. We got to place a trade right now. And then instead of you acting on that and saying, oh, you know what? That is a support. Maybe I could just trade that. Let me go to the 1 hour chart. Now I'll go to the 15-minute chart. Now I'll go to the 10-second chart. Now I'll be looking at the 10-second in combination with the daily and weekly time frames to have a 10-second entry. Like, you start doing all this weird, goofy shit. If you have the type of mindful brain that can recognize when that happens, you know what you do? You say, whoa, getting off track here. I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm supposed to be just focusing on daily zones. I already have this planned out. I already have my alert set at those zones. Now I'm just going to wait for that. And then all these distracting thoughts here, do this. You end up ignoring all those. Then those thoughts fade away. Then your thought patterns become more calm and clear and more focused, and that influences your behavior patterns, which is your sets of decisions that determine whether or not you are profitable or not profitable. Until you conquer your mind, you will continue to make the same stupid, impatient, FOMO, ridiculous trading decisions because your mind is this little thing. It's like the most annoying person in the world coming into your house, following you around from room to room, and refuse to stop talking. And they just talk, and there's nothing you can do to make them shut up. That is exactly what your mind is like. You have to be able to focus on what you want to focus on, and then not focus on what you don't want to focus on. And you can do this through mindfulness and meditation. I teach this in the Mission FX full program and on the one-on-one sessions that my coaching team does with our clients here at Mission FX in the full program. Most of the things that we talk about on those calls is simple psychology. Simply saying, hey, look, George, for example, we have your trading system here. Your trading system works great. You've tracked it for 2 months on a demo account. You've gotten all the data. It's clear that just trading support resistance on the higher time frame works better, and it's simple, and it barely takes any time. It takes you 15 to 30 minutes per day, maybe once in the morning, once in the evening. You barely have to do anything. Why can't you just focus on that? And then the person named George might say, well, because I get panicked out, or I get FOMO, or I start doing stuff, and then I didn't even know what I did, and then I get resentful, and then I regret what I did, and then it makes me panicked, and I don't want to take the next trade that comes along because I'm afraid and I have risk aversion. All this stuff can be solved by simply conquering your mind. I like to call it conquering your inner BITCH. And why? Because it is truly like an incessant little thing, this nasty little creature sitting on your shoulder that's like, take the trade, take the trade, take the trade, take the trade, just do this, just do that. Come on, you're a trader, you're supposed to do this. There's a pattern right there, bro. It's a bullish pennant star right at the London Open, and then you could take that and put the stop loss right here, and you could do all this stuff. And you end up going like literally insane, looking at charts every 5 minutes where you don't even have the self-control to let a trade play out, because you have to look at it every 5 minutes because you have that kind of obsessive compulsive brain that you have not yet conquered. The good news for you, my friend, is that if you're experiencing this, most people who are not profitable experience this exact same thing, and it is the reason that they're not profitable. The good news is that you can solve all this. You can solve it through mindfulness and meditation. It is so important that the first 2 days of lecture content in the Mission FX full program course curriculum are just on thought patterns and behavior patterns. It's called literally optimizing your mindset. It is 3 hours worth of content in those first 2 days of content in the Mission FX full program. And the reason I teach that is because 2 years ago, I recognized that that is the most important thing that people need to have down before it even gets into the technical side of trading. The technical side of trading, I could teach someone in 15 minutes. Support resistance, higher highs, higher lows, this and that. It's the simplest stuff in the world. There's nothing new or proprietary in the Mission FX full program in terms of technical analysis. This is the same stuff that you've learned for years and years and years. There's nothing different, and there's nothing magical or secret about it. Where the problem comes in for most people is that every system works, provided that you have the kind of mind that is able to do that. And that is why we focus on the Mission FX full program in making sure people understand how to optimize their mindset to make profitable trading decisions. And that is why our coaches and directors here at Mission FX, who work for me as my employees, people that I've hired internally from our pool of clients who have gotten profitable doing this stuff, my employees that do unlimited coaching calls with our Mission FX full program clients, most of those calls literally center around 90% psychology, which is being patient, waiting for your setups, like optimizing your mindset in order to not make these impulsive, irrational, obsessive decisions. That is the main thing that we focus on here at Mission FX. If you would like personalized help in doing this from my coaching team and I, click the link in the description below and check out the Mission FX full program. It's like a video that essentially just shows how I trade, which is just bounces of support resistance zones. And then it teaches how Mission FX can help you. It is an expensive coaching program, and it is not something for everyone. We turn away 90% of our clients, and my coaching director, Stefan, only brings on between 5 to 15 people per month, depending on who we have and depending on how busy we are. It is a high-level coaching program that teaches you literally how to solve this exact same problem, because chances are you probably already know how to trade. You're probably perfectly fine trading with a moving average, buying in an uptrend on the 1 minute chart or on the 1 hour chart or on the daily chart. You're probably fine with just trading the support resistance bounces on the 4 hour and daily time frame. You're probably fine with all that. The thing that you probably need help with is optimizing your mindset. And that is what Mission FX can help you with if you so choose. If you'd like to apply for that, you can click the link in the description, watch the video, fill out the application. My team will contact you back in a couple of days if you're a good fit for our program and if we have available student positions. But aside from that, I wanted to put this video out because I wanted you to help you identify and become self-aware of literally the thing that is probably keeping you from not being profitable. It's probably not anything on the technical side. You're probably not a stupid person. I am probably no smarter than you are. You are probably no stupider than I am. You're a very intelligent person who can probably do this, provided that you can fix your mindset, provided that you can optimize your thinking and thought patterns in such a way that it leads to profitable trading decisions, which is just profitable behavior patterns. If you could do that, if you could just optimize your brain right here, you are a set of decisions away from becoming and staying profitable long term. And that is why I made this video today, to help you do that. I hope this helps. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Click the link in the description and check out Mission FX, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.